Hello YouTube, this is Shandidi Tech Tips again, and today I am following up on the issues that was fixed by a firmware released by Alienware or Dell, which is M2B102. I can confirm that now I'm hooked up via HDMI and I'm getting the 12-bit depth, as well as the G-Sync flickering issue has been fixed and resolved by Dell, as well as I haven't tested ARC because I switched to those speakers which supports USB streaming to the PlayStation, which is a side I cannot test ARC because I don't have a soundbar. It's returned that has ARC, so hopefully the ARC issue has been resolved in this firmware, but again I cannot test it since I returned the soundbar and bought those instead, which is the Creative T60, which is good speakers. It supports dual input, auxiliary and USB. The USB goes to the PlayStation or Nintendo, and the auxiliary port goes to your PC. And oh yeah, so, and also correct me if I'm wrong down below in the comments, the Dolby Vision, I think it should be enabled by default. I read online that Dolby Vision should be on by default, and then if the display detects the Dolby Vision format, like if a movie or a game supports it, it kicks in the right HDR profile. But yeah, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. What else that I need to address? I mean, it's a fantastic display. The reason why, oh yeah, so one of the comments I was reading that people was like, oh, I'm not gonna buy Dell because it has so many issues. Every new product release will have issues, every single brand. Dell has a reputation of fixing them. I am a returning customer. I do have an X17 laptop, an Alienware, what do you call it, OLED monitor, the QD34. It's the 3423DWF one. So I am myself, I bought those two monitors and the laptop with my own money. It's not sponsored. So I'm a returning customer because Dell has a reputation of good engineering, superb support, very good support. Warranty is covered on a 3 years warranty, so your investment is good with Dell. That's my personal opinion. What else? So yeah, the Dolby Vision is on, as I said, by default. I mean, this issue sometimes it happens when you switch the monitor off and it turns it on. Sometimes it goes in Dolby, and sometimes it doesn't. HDR. So under games, when you play games, I have tested it on both. Like very minor, when you play an HDR game. If it's HDR10 or Dolby Vision, extremely minor. It's only apparent in the desktop. But for the 90% of the time, Dolby Vision kicks on regardless. Yeah, the HDMI now, as discussed, is fixed. The G-Sync issue is gone. Oh yeah, and the display, I have tested both. The pixel refresh cycle ran automatically on standby after the firmware update. So that is big check. I'm glad. What do you call it? The other one, you don't have to trigger those manually. Again, I'm doing this manually to test the firmware issue or the screen on the factory firmware to make sure everything function as designed, as well as I'm coming from the 34-inch ultra-wide QD OLED, so I know how it behaves, the pixel refresh and the panel refresh. It's the same exact way in here. Finally, it's fixed in the new firmware. I timed the panel refresh, took an hour to finish, and then the monitor turns on after. It goes blinking red, then it turns on. So that is fixed as well. Yeah, I mean, this video will be short and sweet all the major issues, so not major, but the issues that grinds your gears has been fixed by Dell. That said, uh, the um, the contrast is still locked, which I'm looking forward. I don't know if we will have the ability to adjust the contrast in HDR, but it's still locked. Let's see if you can see that. And the firmware version, as discussed, is the newest one. If you go update, you look at the firmware version M2B102, which is well, I just managed to flash it today, left the monitor on to test the when it goes to standby, when it reaches 4 hours of cumulative use. When you shut down the machine, when the monitor goes to standby, it did kick in the pixel refresh, and this was a major thing for me, because otherwise, if it doesn't work, you will end up with pixel what do you call it, screen burn-in. And if you did, they will replace it for you. But they did the right thing, and they addressed all these issues on the initial firmware. So yeah, again, fantastic monitor. I'm very happy that I got it. It looks awesome, and the pixel density is so clear, so crisp. It's 100. So I upgraded technically from a 1440p ultra wide, which is 110 ppi, to 140 ppi. So no fringing. When you read text, when you work on your monitor, you see text fringing. None of that. So yeah, been awesome. That's the update for after the firmware update, and thanks for watching. Have a good day.